everybody? Welcome again to another episode of Just for Fun Games. I'm your boy Azzy. With me, as always, is my friend Roy, and we're going to be talking about the final episode, episode 9 of Marvel's What If. What if the Watcher broke his oath? Okay, a bit behind. It's been a week, but I think it's kind of interesting that we're recording.
We let it marinate now. We let it marinate. You know.
Well, I find it interesting that we're recording this now on the first Wednesday in a while where we don't have any Marvel stuff. Well, I mean, we got some stuff to look forward to, but nonetheless, right now we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of the season finale of What Should Have Been episode 10. We'll get into that in a little bit. But if you haven't seen the episode and you haven't seen our videos, we have a difficult time talking about this kind of stuff without spoiling it. So if you haven't seen the episode, please go ahead and get the hell out. Watch the episode, come on back and see what stupid crap that we have to say about it. Anyway. So this episode's opening up with the assembling the gang, and I really wanted a Rick and Morty reference.
Well, I didn't need no Rick and Morty reference, but they should have just took my idea from the last episode where they should have made this like Bill and Ted and had the music, which I looked up. I don't remember the band name. The song is called Two Heads Are Better Than One. So that would have been perfect for this, but they didn't do it. I was like, that would have been perfect. He's just rolling around all these other universes.
Rick and Morty spoofed the whole like heist movie cliche of assembling the crew, where every time it's like they're kind of reluctant to join until like they get the pitch and it's like, son of a bitch, I'm in. That was effectively what happened, as like Uatu bounces around between universes, recruiting different people, and like for instance recruiting Agent Carter as she's effectively reenacting the beginning of Civil War, which I thought was pretty cool.
Winter Soldier.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, Winter Soldier. Though I feel like of all the characters and like the parallels between their live action versions and their animated versions, Bertrov, the Leaper, was that his name? I know it's the Leaper. I might be getting his actual name up.
George St. Pierre's character.
Yeah, it's like I didn't recognize him at first. It's like, okay, he wants to fight him like hand to hand, so I guess that's him. And got like a little tease of what I was hoping to get more on in when the Watcher went to go recruit T'Challa, and Ego is just like enacting his like not even trying to recruit Peter in this universe, just immediately enacting his plan to take over the universe by using Peter. I was like, oh, okay, y'all just jumping right into this. And Watu's like snatching him up, and it's like, don't you think something important's happening here? All right, fine.
I was thinking it wasn't that important, and to be like, hey, I gotta get him out of here to fight Ultron. But
yeah. But I liked assembling them in the bar. It reminded me of there's literally a place. I can't remember if it's in Marvel or DC where like all the magical based heroes and characters convene, and it's called a place called the Bar with No Name. I actually want to look at that real quick. Maybe I feel like it's a reference to that.
But before we go any further, overall, what was your opinion about this episode?
Yes, it is Marvel. Thank goodness. I feel like my nerd card needed to be revoked if I got the two mixed up. In Marvel, there's a place, in Marvel Comics, there's a place where all the magical people like Doctor Strange and such socialize, called the Bar with No Name. So that felt like a really cool reference. How I felt about the episode is like, I mean, that's all right. It was like, I feel like it was a big climb. Like, I like, as far as the setup, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like these little vignettes, and I enjoyed the interactions that we had between all these different characters. I enjoyed the bit of foreshadowing that they had at that point. It was actually just like the climactic battle I was kind of mad about. The actual like resolution though, I thought was really good. So it's kind of like a ditch. I was there for the beginning. I was there for the end. The middle was kind of.
Yeah, I
Alright.
mean, that's all it was. It was okay. It wasn't like
Yeah.
the big showdown like we wanted. Now,
I don't.
it could.
I feel like. I feel like.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room. The one character that needed to be explained on why they were here, which was Gamora. What was her purpose? I know you probably just in the same boat as me, knowing this information.
Apparently, due to COVID, was going to be an episode that focused on Gamora, on Sakaar, meeting Tony, slaying Thanos, and whatnot. But it got cut, and rumor mill is that we're actually going to get that episode in the next season of What If, when it's not going to matter. Nonetheless, it's going to be the Black Widow episode, I guess.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I mean that I would have been interested in seeing that story instead of jumping right into this episode. You know, you had the episode like what you could have did. You know, when the episode with Thor, where Ultron shows up, just cut it right there and go to the next story, Gamora, then come back to that and then finish it off. But
yeah. But the reality of animation is that production takes a really long time, and you gotta imagine that this show was in production when COVID was at its worst, or at least its initial worst. So when issues arose and people had to start working from home, and really what it is like if Disney and Marvel would have been okay with delaying the show, then we would have gotten that episode. But they probably had a hard date on it coming out, and they couldn't budge from that, so cuts had to be made. So, and sadly, it had to be Gamora that got cut. They could have cut the zombie episode.
Hey, Isaac, go ahead and close my door because you're cutting in.
I see you, boy. But no, I mean, I think by the end of it, one of the things that I appreciated how each episode built up the Watcher, and how he kept getting closer and kept building towards the notion that he was going to interfere. But now that we've been through this season, some part of me really hoped or wishes that this could have been more like Love, Death, and Robots, and they could have spent more time just focusing how on each of these different episodes was focusing on a different universe, shaking up things, rather than the further they got in, creating a need or necessity to tie them together.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was hoping for, if it was going to do the Love, Death, Robots route, is have different animators do each episode, like a different take on that.
That would have been cool too.
Yeah, but like seeing it would have been so much cooler to see all these different art styles at the final climax, where they had to assemble everybody and all those art styles come together. You know,
kind of like Spider-Man Miles Morales.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it was the same art style, but it was just like different characters within those.
Yeah, no, but each of the different Spider-Man was animated a different way.
Yeah.
Like you had Spider-Man Noir, who was in black and white, and looking at it, I mean, it was yet another one of the, just like with the previous episode involving Ultron winning and basically having to kind of like shut your brain off and not like get into the nitty gritty. There's still plenty of enjoyable moments in that big climactic battle. I mean, at the very least, it got to involve that version of Black Widow that kind of got left hanging a couple episodes back. Got to see Doctor Strange and all his demonicness going up against Ultron, utilizing the Time Stone that he still possessed in order to counteract Ultron utilizing the Time Stone. Though I felt it got very wishy-washy, got very trying to have your cake and eat it too, by implicating the notion that Ultron's Infinity Stones function differently because they're from a different universe.
Yeah.
Only for the sake of his benefit, and like there's no negative. That was kind of what I was touching on. That you kind of said I was nitpicking in the previous episode, where it's like the MCU has been very positive and negative consequences, and there were no negative consequences to Ultron possessing all of the Infinity Stones. where in like when Thanos used the snapped his fingers, it fucked up the gauntlet, or when Hulk snapped his fingers, it messed up his arm. There were no consequences to him using the Infinity Stones. And then when they had what was effectively, I'm sorry, when Gamora bust out the Infinity Crusher, all I could think of was anti-shark spray from Adam West Batman. If you don't remember the Adam West Batman, if you don't remember the live action Adam West Batman, he had on his belt for a particular episode anti-shark spray. That's what that shit sounded like. It was the anti-shark spray for the animated MCU, and then it's like, at that point when it didn't work, like you already busted out, and it's this MacGuffin in order to counter the Infinity Stones, and then when it's like it doesn't work, it's like, okay, now we're just like kids playing with action figures and making up our own rules as we go.
Yeah, because like at the end, I was like, well, how is he using these stones? And it's just at there, it's like, well, I just got to suspend my disbelief at this point, you know.
Basically, it was another instance of shit just happens, like Mortal Kombat. Like for instance, part of the plan was to try to impede his ability to utilize the Infinity Stones by snatching the Soul Stone. Why the Soul Stone in particular, for one? Because the Soul Stone's abilities, apart from just finishing the set, have never really been elaborated on the MCU just yet. That's bad. That's one of the sad realities of the MCU, is a lot of the nuances of the Infinity Stones got kind of played down. But then it's like, well, he can still use the other ones. Why don't you grab one of the ones that are more impactful, like reality or time or power? Any of the ones that could have really messed us up here. No, grab the Soul Stone so he couldn't do something on a more universal scale, I guess. But that's okay. It's not like he's gonna enlarge himself enough to bite the universe that the heroes are fighting on or anything like that. No, don't worry about that. You've had a lot of people already like lampooning the episode because of the feats that he did in the previous one, and then he's getting bopped around by two shields.
I mean, I felt like, you know, they took him out too easily, and the whole Killmonger situation, just don't like him. I just don't like him.
No, hold on. Wait. Are you telling me you don't like the fact that they took a page out of the Independence Day book where they defeated him with a virus?
Oh, man, get out of here.
That's what I thought of. It's like, just like a random virus, or not random, but still, it's just like, thank goodness this virus just happened to be able to defeat a actual program. Like, why the notion that Arnim Zola, who was, while technically a digital being, could counteract something that was like, remember, this Arnim Zola was on like 10 million floppy disks for the data or something. It's like, oh, don't worry, he's still equal to like an Ultron level like AI.
That's what
it's like, okay, fine. Now, but granted, what we got out of it though is we actually got like the best interpretation in the MCU of comics accurate Arnim Zola, because he's supposed to look like, honestly, in the comics he looks like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where it's like a big robot with his head in the tummy. But I actually like the resolution, like, because I was wondering why Uatu wasn't actually participating in this fight, but it was all a part of his plan. He knew that, like, and not to mention, why of all, like, I scoured eternity and picked this one D-bag who was taking over a country. And it's like, no, he banked on him wanting to take that power for himself, because he envisioned that these guys weren't actually going to be able to do it, but they would be able to set up the right circumstances to cause a stalemate that Doctor Strange would then be able to put inside a little box and hold forever. I enjoyed it, but I also can recognize that it's very very clean cut. It's a little bit too perfect. It's like, if Uatu had this much foresight, how did he get blindsided in the first place? You know.
Well, the episode is what it is. Okay.
Yeah. And don't look too hard at it. Just try to enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good. did it stick the landing?
It's still entertaining.
You stuck the
It's still
land, but you kind of
entertaining.
stumbled a little bit to get there. You know, granted,
it's like stuck
granted,
the landing, but like still tripped and slammed your face into a wall. But
yeah, I didn't like the whole at the end. It's like Widow was like, "Well, I ain't got nothing to go back to." You know, like,
oh yeah, no, hold up. So Uatu is gonna put her in a universe that's lacking a widow and is not gonna be our like the MCU, the one where we just lost our widow that we could use back.
That would have been it was so much better. Be like, what? That would have been a nice little ending. And then you know, Agent Carter finding the Hydra. Oh, hold on. You chopped that on me.
Hydra Stomper.
Yeah, we found the Hydra Stomper, and then
there's
somebody still in it.
I had to go back. Yeah, I mean, how would that have worked? I mean, it's one thing when Steve is in the ice and he had the super soldier serum, you know, like suspension of disbelief, somehow his body still survived. Unless you're going to tell me that Howard Stark built like a cryo unit in the Hydra Stomper to preserve whoever the hell was still in there.
He's gonna come out. I'm ready to fight.
It's a freaking mummified corpse. Good job. Congratulations.
It would be
right. At least you got the body.
Been that line reversed from what is it? Winter Soldier? No, it was Civil War when she passed away. You're like, it's been so long.
Oh no! This is gonna be Weekend at Bernie's. She's gonna get that last dance, but it's gonna be like,
oh Lord. What would you rate this?
I mean, 7.
I'll say 7. 7. Yeah, I was leaning towards 6, but I'm be more forgiving with it.
I'm being nice. Because they're still entertaining. Like seeing Doctor Strange like multiply the Mjolnirs to beat the shit out of Ultron. That was cool. Seeing him like use all of like that demonic energy to try to pin down Thanos. That was also cool. I still thought it would have been really cool, really interesting and really cool if the Mephisto we get in the MCU, the Mephisto of the multiverse, was this Doctor Strange that just absorbed all these freaking demons. But well, I still enjoyed the spectacle. It was a fireworks display that was loud and bombastic, and then afterwards just made me feel a little bit empty inside and feel like the vibrations kind of like hurt my heart. But nonetheless.
So, what was your favorite episode from this season?
Favorite episode from the and one more thing that I actually enjoyed. I also really enjoyed Doctor Strange dumping the zombies on Ultron.
Oh yeah,
Wanda. So the Wanda zombie was kind of like chumped out.
Vision.
But my favorite episode from the season. I'd say it was still episode 2.
Okay.
What if T'Challa became Star-Lord?
Yeah, I would go. That was my favorite episode. My second one, I'm looking at the list here, would be what if Ultron won? Then I would go, what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? Then
you know what? I did enjoy that one too. I did enjoy that one.
And then I would go to what if the world lost its mightiest heroes? Then I would go, what if Captain Carter were the first Avenger? And then I would go, what if Thor were only child? Then I would go zombies. And then last but not least, well, no, I take it back. I didn't include this episode. That's a little bit higher. But
let's focus on your top 3 and the one you hate the most.
Okay, top 3, Star-Lord. I mean, T'Challa became Star-Lord. What if Ultron won and Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
I would say T'Challa became Star-Lord. Captain Carter were the what if Captain Carter were the first Avenger, and what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
Yeah.
Honestly, 2 and 3 are kind of like neck and neck. Because while I do agree that they didn't really do enough to mix up the first episode, and it kind of went in a very wild direction with like the magic portal and the freaking Leviathan monster. I still really enjoy Peggy Carter as a character, so like I can't help but want more of that.
Yeah.
Agent Carter was a great show. If y'all didn't freaking watch it, it's on Disney Plus. Enjoy it. It should have gotten a third season.
But yeah, like going to my like least favorite, I would go Zombies. Like Zombies is not the one I hate the most. Zombies. God damn. Just had it up here. No, I would do Captain Carter first, Zombies, and then Killmonger rescue Tony Stark.
Those are your top 3 worst?
I ain't saying the worst, but the ones I didn't enjoy. So like the last one I said, the one with Killmonger is the one I did not enjoy at all.
I would sit there and say, of which I just want to like special shout out to like what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands. I honestly kind of want to make that first now. I kind of want, like, I'm thinking about it. I kind of want to make that one first with T'Challa after, and then Captain Carter, just because I loved how it was very much a introspective to the character. Because one of the complaints that we get with Doctor Strange is that we don't really feel like we get much of his character, because he's kind of on this like fast track journey. And this was a great insight as to like the main problem with Doctor Strange as a person. He's his own best critic in that episode. I really like that. But the T'Challa episode, the Killmonger episode is the most boring. But it's the zombie episode that disappointed me the most. It really did.
Okay, I'll let you slide.
Anyway. That's it where we're going to leave it for you guys. What did you think about the final episode of What If? What was your top 3 best episodes of the season? What was the episode you hated the most? Go ahead and drop it down in the comments below. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell notification so you know when we're busting out some more content. And we will see you next time, hopefully sooner rather than later. We got Eternals coming up in a couple weeks. Can't wait for that. But till then, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Deuces.
As for me, I am the Watcher. The multiverse, every single world, every story is my home. And I will protect it to the end.